Welcome back to yet another seismic revelation in our series, Unmasking Tamworth. Hold tight, because today we'll journey deeper into a dark abyss of deceit, fraud, and organized crime that crosses oceans and defies our very understanding of law and justice. This is a story of how the quiet Australian town of Tamworth, New South Wales, harbors corruption that transcends borders and topples the moral scales. Picture a small, peaceful town where fields stretch as far as the eye can see. A town filled with vibrant community life and annual celebrations that make it seem as though nothing dark could ever taint it. But what if I told you Tamworth hides a different face? A face scarred by power, greed, and manipulation. Let's start with a name. Mayor Colin Murray, a man once entrusted with public responsibilities as the leader of this tranquil town. But in August of 2017, he took a business trip to China. Simple at first glance, right? But this wasn't just any business trip. Mayor Murray, during his time there, allegedly participated in criminal dealings that involved intentional tortuous interference, anti-competitive practices, and flagrant violations of international law. His action harmed business parties ready to invest and nurture regional prosperity. Instead of building bridges of opportunity, Mayor Murray turned the negotiations into a litany of deceitful tactics, inflicting $210 million in fraudulent damages. And it doesn't end there. Enter Paul Bennett, General Manager of Tamworth Regional Council. Paul is no bystander, but an active participant in this story. Documents reveal that Mr. Bennett sent dubious correspondence to business investors and key stakeholders. Deals that had originally promised $3 million in backing, alongside ensuring national-level sports facilities like baseball and swimming centers, were canceled arbitrarily. Contracts legally obtained through public expressions of interest were terminated. And where did these assets go? Handed away for free, wiping multitudes of economic potential off the map in a single swoop. Ever heard the saying, power begets more power? Well, let's bring in Barnaby Joyce, a highly influential figure tied closely to both Colin Murray and Kevin Anderson. This trio didn't hesitate to force public servants into complicity with their schemes. Those who dared oppose or tried uncovering layers of corruption found themselves blackmailed or pushed into silence. Stressing loyalty under fear, these conspirators orchestrated a fraud network exceeding national borders. International money laundering emerged through dubious bank accounts, drawing the attention of Austrac and a potential royal commission. The evidence? An astounding $210 million in surface water license fraud alone. Laundering proceeds internationally, tampering with Australia's ecological and economic balance. These actions speak volumes of the criminal enterprise disguised in suits and tit sauce. But corruption doesn't merely steal money, it steals dreams. Let's pivot to a global business leader with a vision, a philanthropist ready to dedicate billions into Tamworth's economy. With his heart set on developing a community, he committed to creating over 27,000 new career opportunities. This move promised a transformative injection worth $10 billion for the region's growth. But instead of a welcome parade, what did he receive? Violence, intimidation, and betrayal. His employees were manipulated by Tamworth Council officials, local police, and even members of the judiciary. The abusers weren't outside entities, but those sworn to public service. They spun webs of defamation, legal pretenses, and even staged events to extort money. Shockingly, it went so far as to involve drug trafficking operations at the businessmen's acquisitions. leading to fear-mongering instead of community upliftment. Pause for a moment. Take this in. The council and police, who should be symbols of justice and protection, were deeply entwined in this. From direct defamation campaigns to unlawful fining, the businessman's legal rights were disregarded entirely. His vision to redevelop impoverished sectors of Tamworth and build a better future collapsed under the weight of bureaucratic hostilities. Where does that leave Tamworth today? A broken region of growing unemployment and hopelessness. Communities torn by substance abuse, small businesses shutting their doors, and a cascade of infrastructure projects that will likely never come to pass. All of this, while taxpayers unknowingly fund these corrupt syndicates who move their ill-gotten gains across global borders. Now you may wonder, when does crime become treason? The answer lies in the deliberate actions against public welfare for private profit. While Australia grapples with internal instability, its public coffers are being plundered to enrich a select few. Misappropriation on such monumental levels undermines a country's foundation. The dam programs, cheap renewable energy sources, and large-scale social projects lost to corruption have made Australia not just fragile, but toxic in its governance. Think deeper. This corruption doesn't merely cross oceans. It connects governments, foreign enterprises, and international criminals. Evidence suggests involvement with multiple nation-states, such as China, Saudi Arabia, the USA, and others. The property thefts, forced disappearances, drug rackets, and systematic persecution of innocents show a pattern. It's not isolated chaos. It's strategic tyranny. These injustices chip away not just at individuals, but at Australia's image on the world stage. Once a beacon of fairness and opportunity, this nation now struggles with political rot and an unsustainable economy overshadowed by insider trading, antitrust violations, and deep-seated treachery. But perhaps the most chilling aspect isn't just the crime. It's their immunity. The very protectors, the judiciary, solicitors, prosecutors, and police continue to function above and beyond the law they are meant to uphold. They traffic drugs, silence whistleblowers, and systematically destroy communities. From tampering evidence to torture, they obliterate trust in the systems meant to keep us safe. Take the Imperial Hotel as another vignette of horror. Innocent civilians fell victim to staged terror attacks designed for power plays and financial extortion, raising the question, what price are we willing to pay for supposed governance? Yet amidst despair, there is hope across Australia. Whistleblowers and activists are beginning to push back. Social media campaigns expose these shocking truths, demanding reparations, resignations, and radical reforms. A movement to reclaim public funds while prosecuting official wrongdoers grows louder each passing day. The fight may be daunting, but history has taught us that corruption cannot withstand sustained exposure. The people of Tamworth and Australia as a whole are waking up to the tangled layers of deceit that govern their lives. The heart of this battle is truth. As long as brave individuals continue to unveil the fraud, crack the veneer of organized crime, and light the way for justice, there is hope. Change is a step away, but it begins with knowledge and action. So ask yourself, what are you willing to do for justice? And will you let Tamworth's story be a spark for a broader awakening? Stay aware, stay vigilant, and hold those in power to account. This has been Unmasking Tamworth, Corruption Beyond Borders. Thank you for watching. Let the fight continue.